welcome guys. Welcome to today's video of Moidan and FPL. I am here with my friend, come mini league FPL co-FPL player Krishnan Dugiri. He is an ardent Everton fan, and we'd like to first take his take on how the new season is shaping up and his opinions on how he has been doing his preparations. Krishnan,
Thank you, thank you.
yeah,
That's a nice enough introduction, I should say.
yeah.
By the
So
way, we both are blues.
we both are blue. Both are blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a London blue. You're a Merseyside blue, so it all works out well. So how are your
Yeah,
preparations?
and
What are your preparations for FPL? Like any one celebrity FPL manager you're looking at his team, like Joshua Ball or probably a late riser or someone. Like whom are you
yeah,
getting
so
inspired by?
yeah, that's a perfect question actually. So I am so till last year till last year I just used to follow some blogs on English football and some posts of athletic or something,
Yeah,
and some random YouTube channels. But this year I'm finding it bit difficult as there are too many information.
yeah.
Too many
The too much
information.
information. Yeah,
So we have to filter out. That's one of the problems that I'm facing. Every time I'm watching some video or some information I am getting, and I am and there is what I should say information boom, and I'm just drowning in that boom. So not a particular fan of any FPL manager, but
okay.
I'm following Joshi from the last year only. So I'm following his podcast, and the official podcast of Premier League is also helpful. So I'm following that too.
Okay, okay. So let's just jump right into your team. So you have taken Jed Steer and
Yeah,
Matthew Ryan. So Jed Steer, I think, is just bench fodder. And what about Ryan?
yeah,
What about Ryan prompted you to include him in your team?
yeah. So frankly speaking, I was having McCarthy and Ryan and McCarthy for the
Yeah.
last couple of weeks now,
Okay.
and I'm still not convinced about Ryan as well as McCarthy because see I have this formula of 4.5 goalie and a 4.5 defender. Okay,
Okay.
wing back. So either I will go with Ryan Lamptey or
Okay.
McCarthy KW.
Okay.
Right
That
now
means you
I am
want.
going with the combination of
Okay.
Ryan
Okay.
and KW.
Okay. So you don't want to cover two players from the same team, like two players from Brighton
Yeah,
or
so
two players from Southampton, right?
I feel that is bit risky
Yeah.
because this year this home and away, all these things are not there, are just not there, because there will be no home fans or away fans.
Fans. No, the fans
See,
will start like at the later points of the season, but I think till that time the season will have progressed so much more. So, anyways, that's
yeah,
a
that time I can
legitimate reason, I
understand.
think. Yeah. And what about Doherty? Like, I asked this question to another friend of mine who took Doherty. So,
Yeah,
what about Doherty has
yeah.
made
So
you take? Is he a proven FPL asset? That's why you have taken him, or have you taken him because of Tottenham's clean sheets? Like, what is the thinking behind having a £6 million asset, which is Matt Doherty? If you could have
yeah,
had
so
like,
I'll tell you two
yeah,
points. I'll tell you 2 points. So I have been analyzing Mourinho's game for a long time now.
okay,
So it's I will say Mourinho in Tottenham is Mourinho 3.0. So
okay,
he has
yeah,
discovered himself in a new way, and many of us has this belief of Mourinho bus parking, and we have seen that.
yeah,
Good defensive organization, defense not moving at all, but he has changed that philosophy of it in Tottenham, and we have
okay.
seen that in Kyle Walker's positioning last year. And
No,
we
Kyle
all know
Walker.
Doherty
Okay,
is
yeah,
not Kyle Walker,
yeah.
Aurier, sorry,
Or search
Aurier.
or
So Aurier used to overlap a lot
hmm.
last year,
Hmm.
even after Mourinho joined.
Yeah.
So what I feel, he has taken Doherty precisely because he want to enhance
Attack.
that portion
Okay.
attack. Yeah, because Doherty is not known for his defense anyway. So what is the need for him to sign Doherty at all?
Okay. No, I.
this point. So I think Doherty will be attacking.
Okay.
And secondly, his price. So the philosophy behind his price and selection, what I feel is I want to take attacking player from Tottenham who is the cheapest at that line.
Okay.
So I feel Doherty is not at all a defender. He is the cheapest attacking player available to me from that squad.
Okay. Okay.
That's
That's an interesting thing. That's an interesting thing. And what about? I think Michel is a starter. Tyreek Michel is a starter from Crystal Palace. What about Nathan
Yeah,
Ferguson?
yeah,
What about Nathan Ferguson? I would like to ask about Nathan Ferguson. Yeah.
Yeah, so Nathan Ferguson, as reports are saying, is going to be the next Wan Bissaka. People are
Okay.
telling this, but he is right now training
Injured.
solo, so that's why it is showing red. But
Yeah.
once he starts, there will be a tremendous rise in his price.
Oh,
Okay,
Nathan Ferguson is as well
I-
selected by 2.5%. Like his ownership is 2.5%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So once he will start and he will be a sure starter by then, because once he starts, he will start all the games from
Okay.
then on. Hopefully.
Okay. Okay.
So that time his price will rise and I will get advantage of that.
Okay.
And
You're
switch of
confident.
Tyreek Mitchell,
Yeah.
I will switch him to one. There is Preston Johnson. I might switch him to Johnson as well. But for the time being, I have kept it Tyreek Mitchell because he will be a starter, pure starter.
Yeah. Tyreek Mitchell is a starter. Yeah.
In the game.
Okay, so now moving on to your midfield, that I see that you have two premium assets. Aubameyang, I wouldn't ask you too much because Aubameyang is pretty nailed on for the first 2 or 3 game weeks for everyone.
Yeah.
Explain to me, like, why have you gone for this combination of Havertz and Werner? Like, in one go, tell me about why have you chosen Havertz and Werner? Are you trying to cover up Chelsea's attack? Like, is that the motivation? Because Chelsea are playing attacking, and why Mane? Why not Salah?
Yeah, so two excellent questions. Why Havertz and why Werner? So there are two philosophy. One, Chelsea, I think, not I think, I believe Chelsea will have a probably one of their best seasons from 2015.
Okay.
They will have probably one of their best seasons. In terms of attacking, so they will score tremendous number of goals this year because they have the striker, proven striker, and they have made good transfers in the back line as well as front line.
Okay.
And I believe Warner will get enough service from Pulisic, CS, Mount, Havertz, anyone.
Okay.
So Warner will be a proven man. Now, another point is Warner is highly priced. If
Yeah.
it fails, then I can easily go down to some Ings or Richarlison.
Okay.
So that is, and I will free up some money that I can use in the midfield.
Midfield. Okay.
Same
Okay.
is the case with Kai Havertz. Chelsea's fixture is good, no doubt, and Havertz will be a starter as far as the latest report yesterday Lampard's press conference.
Yeah.
Press conference also, yeah. So and the third point is Havertz can act as a
Second striker.
Like many people are taking Son, yeah, so placeholder. He might act as a good placeholder as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I can go to Son or else I can go to De Bruyne without sacrificing Mane or Aubameyang in the third game week.
No, but Havertz
So
is
that's one of
8.5 and De Bruyne is 11.5. I mean, there's a 3-point gap. How are you planning? Like, are you planning to downgrade Werner to, like, then you will need to free up that 3 million from somewhere. Where is that 3 million coming from?
Yeah, so the point is so many people are planning of going from Aubameyang to De Bruyne
Yeah. Yeah.
or Sterling.
Yeah.
Or let's say
If Liverpool don't play with Salah too, yeah.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yes.
So I can go to Bruno Fernandes with 2 million because Warner I will go to DCL then. Because Everton, I think attacking wise this year they will be a much better.
Much better,
than
yeah.
last-
Definitely. I also believe that.
Yeah, so I will get a cheaper forward and I will get a better fixture player from the Man City or Man U. So
Okay.
I have all the options here if I take Havertz.
Okay, okay, okay.
That's
So,
why I've taken Havertz. But I just want to just want to say Havertz shining. That's one
okay,
of the things because I always root for attacking play. I don't want
yeah,
to go for a good defender
okay.
or and seeing the match praying ki okay, let's see no goals, no goals. I
No.
can't enjoy the match like that.
Okay, okay. So, what is the thought behind Dupure? Dupure is a 5.5 million asset. You could have taken San
Yeah.
Maximan, and I can very well argue that San Maximan will, I think, have a better points tally than Dupure. Then, why is Dupure a selection? I can understand Matthias Pereira because he's also there in my team as well. So, and he's one of the focal points in attack for West Brom. So, why Dupure? Why Dupure? Like,
Okay, so this is a good question actually. So Dukure is one of those players whose stats are not discussed that much.
yeah.
If you see last year's stats, Dukure versus ASM, you will find ASM being ASM, and he's that attacking proudness. He has everything. He's the talisman probably in their
Yeah,
attack.
yeah, yeah.
And Dukure is probably in a team which not probably the Watford team that was in shambolic state, I
Yeah.
must say. But still, Dukure scored 123 points and ASM probably lesser than him.
No, and as you told, I was just checking out. His index is not that bad. He's 47 out of 540. That's not actually very bad. Abdullah Doucouré was a like sporadic scorer, I might add. He scored in I think 4 or 5 goals. I think last year he had I think
Yeah.
how many goals and assists? I think he had 4 goals and 4 assists. So for a central midfielder, I think that's good enough. I believe that's good enough. And he has 113 points from a 5.5
Yeah,
million.
and for a 5.5, yeah.
Yeah. No, but you had. I would argue.
And I must say, one of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue. Yeah.
No, I was saying that. I was just saying that you could have had probably a Jordan Henderson. So my argument was that if I have to take a 5.5 million asset, I'll either take a winger who's I think is going to contribute more in the attacking zones of the team, or I'll take a proven like Liverpool asset because he'll give me those extra 1 points for the clean sheet. So that was my thinking. That are you then again confident of Everton keeping clean sheets? Because Everton has strengthened in the midfield. 3 of their signings are very good. James and
Right.
your Alan and Doucouré, as well as the front line. You have
Right.
Bernard, you have Sigurdsson, you have Richarlison, you have that boy Gordon. There are many good things coming together, and Ancelotti as a manager is also nice. So, are you banking on Everton as a whole? I'm asking
Right.
you this from a purely football and non-FPL
See,
point of view. Are you? What are your expectations
I'll
from
tell you,
Everton? Yeah.
See, I am optimistic about Everton this year because of the transfers and the manager, as you rightly pointed. But one of the things that I am feeling about Everton is the whole Everton defense was in shambles last year, and that's why the attacking potential got significantly damaged. Because there were players, good players. Richarlison is a world-class player,
Yeah, he's a very good
but
player.
he couldn't perform in that level. Yeah. So what I feel with the incoming of Alan, the what that we are missing in the midfield, that blocking midfielder, the central defender, that position it gets
Okay.
solved, then Dukure is a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah.
So he will be at the receiving end of those crosses which will not be directed towards the striker, but striker will take away the defenders along with him,
Okay.
and there will be a blank space behind the strikers, and Dukure occasionally comes and finishes those shots that we have
Like a
seen,
number eight, like a number 8 in football, like what Lampard used to do for Chelsea back in the day.
yeah. So I have immense faith in
Okay.
players like Dukure, I'm forgetting his name, Tielemans. I
Okay,
have
okay,
faith in these kind of players.
okay, okay.
So
Okay.
I
Tielemans is a
think,
nice selection,
uh,
maybe. Yeah.
and a differential pick as well.
Yeah. So and forward line, I think Mitrovic is. I think we don't need to discuss much about Mitrovic because Mitrovic is Fulham's only sole asset. What about Che Adams? Like you could have upgraded probably Che Adams to a Mikhail Antonio if you had 6.5, or you could have downgraded 8.5 to an 8 asset or a 5.5 to a 5 asset. What made you choose Che Adams? Like that is again, is it again based on Southampton's attacking prowess or Che Adams' returns at the back end of last season?
Partially, but what I feel about Che Adams is he's a very cunning footballer, I must say.
Okay, okay.
And one of the things about Southampton's formation is 4-4-2.
Yeah.
So both Che Adams and these guys,
Danny Ings.
Talisman Ings. Yeah, so both of them will be at the front of the goal, and Ings will be heavily marked. So
Yeah.
Che Adams might get occasional blank spot or blind spot where he has a better, I feel he has a better chance of converting,
Okay.
not converting actually, he has a better chance of getting those golden opportunities in the match. So I'm banking on Che Adams' potential because I believe in Ings.
Okay.
Ings will create the,
Ings will get,
and
okay.
Che Adams will get the benefit.
So I see, I have discussed your whole team now, and I see a lot of footballing reasons more than FPL reasons, and which I find is refreshing, because all of us have chosen, I think me, myself, Obirup and Kostav, all of us have chosen based on FPL reasons and less on football reasons. You're the first person who is telling me that you have chosen some players basically because of the football. So let's see how does your team perform, and I would like to see, because it's a refreshing change. Like you're more banking on the eye test.
Yeah.
That if a player looks good, then
Yeah.
he is probably going to deliver for you more in the long run.
Yeah. So my preferred formation is 3-4-3 or
Okay.
3-5-2.
Yeah.
I can't go with 4 at the back. Or
Back.
Like
You don't want
4-3
to
is a
go.
burden for me.
Yeah. 4 at the back.
Yeah. So I don't want to go actually.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I needed, even if I bench one player who will be playing in the match, I want that to be one from midfield
Or attack.
from the strike line.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't. So that's why I have made my whole kitty. So it is 0. That's why.
Yeah.
I could have easily kept 1.5 in the kitty by
Yeah.
taking someone like Keenan
Keenan
Davis
Davis,
or
yeah.
someone in place of in that.
Okay. Okay. So guys, we have.
Place
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
FPL reasons. Yeah. You are
Yeah.
right at that.
Yeah. So, guys, we have heard Krishnendu's team, and I think this looks very flexible. If I might add, this looks a very flexible team, and I think he has done well. I think, in my opinion, this is going to be a good team, and in future, in the next upcoming videos, we'd like to say his strategies on how he manages his transfers, because like all of us, he also doesn't have a Man City or a Man U asset. So in the coming videos, we hope to hear from you as to how you plan on incorporating those people in your team, or how do you make the
Yeah,
transfer.
definitely. It's a fun on your channel, bro. It's a fun.
No, it's not my channel. It's just a channel where we all collaborate. That there's nothing like that. But thanks a lot for
Yeah,
appearing
yeah,
on this
definitely.
video and giving your thoughts on this. So thanks a lot, guys. Please keep watching. We're trying our level best. This is a new initiative, and please do like and subscribe. That show support. Anything is appreciated. Anything and everything is appreciated. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.